वेलकम टू अनदर स्ट्रीम गाइस। आज की जो स्ट्रीम है, नो गेम्स, नो नथिंग।
एक हमने तो अपनी नाक घुसेड़ रखी है। चाचा एंड चाचा एंड भतीजा।
चलो गाइस, अब हम देखते हैं कि क्या करना है। अगर कुछ दिल करेगा तो कर लूँगा, बाकी गेम्स आज कोई नहीं खेलनी है। गेम वाला सीन सारा ख़त्म है। लाइव मेरी होगी, यहाँ से प्रोसेस चल रहा है। लेट्स गो, लेट्स गो।
क्या है ये
अरे यार,
चाचा
थोड़ी मेरी
भतीजा?
वो है, सीरीज है। नहीं, सीरीज तो ना कहो, वैसे वीडियोस
वो भाई।
स्टार्ट।
वाह
वाह,
क्या
क्या
सीन।
सीन है। लेट्स गो गाइस। लेट्स, भाई स्ट्रीम देखो ना, स्ट्रीम मेरी और
किसकी
किसकी। मैं लाइव हूँ
स्ट्रीम?
यूट्यूब पे।
अभी अभी आया कि
सब्सक्राइब भी करो मुझे।
अभी करो। हाँ भाई करूँगा।
चलो गाइस, ये वाली वीडियो छोड़ के अगली वीडियो पे चलते हैं। लेट्स गो। रियलमी GT2 Pro नया फ़ोन आया क्या?
Business with Wix e-commerce. Create a
The fastest growing smartphone company in history.
चलो यार, फिर मैं बाद में बात करूँगा, ठीक है? सुबह देखेंगे।
रुक जा मैं
हाँ,
देखता हूँ
अभी
भाई।
लाइव पे ज़रा कंसंट्रेट करना है मैंने। पीछे से भाई भी बोले जा रहे हैं, ये तू ही है ना, ये तू ही है ना,
भाई मैं क्यों होता?
ये तू ही है, मुझे लग रहा है। लौड़ा, ये मुझे लग रहा
मैं
है
क्यों
तू ही
होता
है।
भाई?
मुझे कह रहा ना, भाई ये
मैं
तू ही है।
कैसे हो सकता हूँ?
99.9
मैं
बेटा,
तो पूछ रहा था
यकीन है
ना।
मुझे कि तू है। मुझे पता है
ओ
तू ही है।
देख लूंगा गाइस। आपने इससे अच्छा तो अपनी लाइव स्ट्रीम
क्या
देख
देख
लें।
लूँ?
रुक जा मैं जाता
हाँ,
हूँ
मैं भी
भाई।
जा रहा
बाय
हूँ
बाय
भाई।
बाय। मैं भी जा रहा हूँ भाई।
चलो गाइस, मैं माइक अब अपना बंद करने लगा हूँ। अब जो आप देखोगे वो आप इससे ही देखोगे।
Samsung or Xiaomi. The fastest growing smartphone company in history is not Apple or Samsung or Xiaomi like you might expect. It's actually a brand called Realme. I spent the last few days playing with their record-breaking 2022 flagship phone, but what you need to know about the GT2 Pro is that it's the first time that this company has ever made a top-tier flagship. And it's the fastest Android in the world by a mile. Underneath the phone, you also get a pretty decent quality TPU case, a 65-watt fast charger, and a USB-C charging cable. Better than most flagships then. I think that the market for affordable smartphones is held back by the market for high-end smartphones. Because most companies want customers to go and buy their flashy flagships, they have to purposefully make their lower-end phones less attractive, less good looking, and also usually not as cheap as they would otherwise be. But Realme hasn't been burdened by that. Because they so far haven't made a flagship phone, they've not been trying to upsell people towards anything. And so with every single device, they're only as possible. Some have had racing stripes, others bold colors, quite a few have just had over them. It looks kind of like one of those drunken tattoos that you regret the next day. Not all of their designs are winners, for sure, but they're consistently packed with really strong hardware for the money. And that doesn't change here. In fact, the Realme GT2 Pro is less than flagship price. I've been told around $700 to $750, but at the same time, they've managed to break 3 major world records with it. It has the largest internal cooling system, it has the widest ever ultra-wide camera, and it doesn't just use the same top-end Snapdragon 888 chipset as every other current flagship. This is the first parent company, but it adds that wacky Gen Z flair that they're developing a bit of a reputation for. It's pretty tastefully done here. The flourish from the back, to me it just looks like they've written the word noob, but you only get that on the special edition variants. And, oh, I haven't even mentioned the most interesting part of this, the material. So, you know how smartphones are going through a bit of an eco-revolution right now, with their recycled packaging and nothing included in the box? Well, this is Realme's way of doing it. The back of this phone is made of a biopolymer, which is derived in part from recycled paper, and therefore uses 35% less CO2 to make. And on one hand, it is a bit strange. Like, when you think of a flagship phone, you don't think of recycled bottle caps melted together with paper mache. But in execution, it just reminds me of leather. It's got that same plushness, but also that slightly coarse texture for grippiness. And so when you combine this back, because I am a fan of leather phones, with the seriously alluring screen on the front, this starts to feel like one of the most complete hardware packages that money can buy. Like, when you look at this form factor, it looks high-end, yes, but they didn't. It's Super AMOLED for deep contrast. It supports true 10-bit color to be able to display even more of a range. It's Quad HD Plus rate to scale all the way down to 1 Hz when it can get away with it, to save up to 50% battery consumption. Plus also, it's just a nice, clean, flat screen with no weird jutting corners. I mean, I don't personally mind curved screens, but the point is you'll struggle to find something to complain about here. Actually, this is the internet. But okay, let's address the elephant in the room. This is the first phone with next generation processing power. How fast is it? Kind of amazing. Kind of underwhelming. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, then a sub to the channel would be really good. Let's be very clear, this is good. Let's be very clear, this is powerful. This is the most powerful smartphone I've ever held or even looked at. If you want to put a number on it, while Samsung's S21 Ultra scores around 700,000 points on Antutu benchmark, this passes 1 million. I nearly fell out my seat. I still remember the day where all I want points, and here I am holding something that passes 1 million. I've been getting consistently higher Wi-Fi I'm testing from. And also, seemingly less of a performance hit